Hey Mary-Ann.
Hey Stephen, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing very well, thank you.
Okay, quick question for you, and I promise you this is real estate related.
Okay.
How tall are you?
5'9".
Yeah, and I have 24-inch biceps. But how tall are you?
5'7¾".
Okay, so circling back around to real estate, why is accuracy in measurements so important?
Well, definitely a standard. You know, the way I believe 5'9" looks and the way you believe 5'9" looks is quite different.
Okay.
So the Service Alberta a couple years ago put in and implemented RMS, which is regulated by RECA.
Okay, so how does that affect us realtors and then the trickle-down effect, of course, to the buyers and the sellers?
Well, it allows for an easy, accurate, and comparing properties in today's market.
And that's the whole point, isn't it?
That's the whole
it's
point.
Consistency going forward with every listing, that there is one standard, not Realtor A measured it differently than Realtor B.
Exactly. So some of the key points is detached homes are measured from the exterior.
Right.
Anything with a common wall is measured paint to paint. And a couple other things to keep in mind is if the level is above grade or below grade.
Very important.
Yeah, because above grade will be included, below grade will not. And vaulted areas, you know, in the past, vaulted areas were on the second floor included as measurable property, where here it is not.
Okay.
So boots on the ground, how do we communicate that to the buyer?
I like to have a buyer counseling session if at all possible, and that goes over the buyer brokerage agreement.
Okay.
And part of that discussion can, of course, come to measurements.
Yep.
Now, a lot of people find that very important when they're talking about condos, but as far as homes are concerned and price per square foot and that kind of stuff, it's important to have that discussion at least. And I put in sort of a care package with my buyers that involves the SIRC Buyer's Guide and also the RECA provided RMS Measurements Guide. It's really comprehensive. It's what we actually used as our study reference, but it brings up the talking points for the buyer. And as a realtor, this is really important. It shows that you have informed the buyer. So it protects us as well, just by giving the buyers the care package.
And as I always say, it gets the conversation going.
Yeah.
Now, from a seller's point of view, how does the seller communicate their measurements to a prospect buyer?
Okay, so the seller's realtor can take this a number of different ways, really.
Yeah.
We can have it professionally measured with the professional photographs, and that's something that typically Sotheby's offers. But they do also allow the realtor to sketch out the measurements themselves and provide it with the listing, which is now standard. And this is the RECA sketch sheet, I believe they call it.
Yep.
And it's helpful because, as you had pointed out, it does give us a guideline for how to measure the homes.
Perfect. As I know we are wrapping up, I just want to communicate a couple other things. One, we can't use the tax roll measurements.
Very important.
Yeah. And two, you cannot use a previous listing measurement.
Absolutely
so
not.
when you're using the worksheet or getting it professionally measured, your name and date will be on there.
Right, good point.
Finally, condos, the registered size, can it be larger than the measurements?
Yes, it can. The registered size can include interior wall thickness, so that can create an inconsistency between the two measurements, but RMS is the standard going forward.
Perfect. Well, I think we did.
I think we did.
We definitely
measured
up. Till next time,